Okay guys, so I'm just jumping in here real fast while I'm editing to let you know that this video is filmed kind of weird. You will notice I have 3 wardrobe changes in this video. If you want to go actually chronologically, my second wardrobe change is when I actually first started filming this video, and that was before I went to Montana. Now, the very end of the video, my third wardrobe change was me right when I got back from Montana. You can just tell I look really sick. And the very beginning of the video, the first wardrobe that I'm wearing is me after I was feeling better. So that was me just talking about Montana. Then the second half of the video was before I went to Montana. And then the last part of the video was when I got back from Montana, but like right when I got back and I was super, super sick. I just look not good. I sound not good, but I desperately wanted to finish the video because it felt like it was taking forever. So, okay, enjoy. Hello, my coven, sick and tired here. So I am back from Montana, and as you can tell, I still sound really sick. And I just kind of wanted to catch up with you guys and tell you what I did in Montana. Girl talk. So if you are not interested in any of that, I will go ahead and put the timestamp here that you can go to if you want to skip all the catching up. And I wanted to use my really fancy font for that one. If you would like to stick around, great. How are you doing? I'm so excited to be back. So excited to get back to work. I was out for a while, but I went to Montana to meet my nephew, and he is so adorable. I love him so much. I miss him like crazy. I already want to go back. And while I was out there, of course, we did some shopping at my absolute favorite store in the world. It's called Between the Worlds, and it is a witchcraft store and an apothecary, which is super cool. Anything you need, they have there. And I always stop in and I always get something. And I just wanted to share with you guys what I got. Okay. I've never done a video like this. Am I supposed to click on this? Do you guys like that? I got this candle for good health. I do a lot of candle magic. I actually got my daughter one for good luck. She's always like, I want good luck. And I'm like, what exactly do you need good luck for? And she's like,
my cookie run kingdom.
So, okay. So to me, the most fun part was going through their crystals. Actually, the most fun part is all of it, but I'll share the crystals that I got. I got all these crystals and they packaged them in these individual packages with what they do in the pink packages. They did them all pink for me because I'm still kind of learning about crystals, so I don't really know. So I keep all the little cards. I got this one just because I thought it was so cute. It's like made from a seashell. It's got this cute little swirl on it. And I got that because we love to travel so much in my family. We love going to the ocean. It's called a sunshell fossil, and it's supposed to help connect you to the energy of nature, the ocean, and geometry. I just thought that was really cool. It also facilitates spiritual healing through release of past traumas. That spoke to me. So this next crystal I got here, this is called Amazonite. Am I saying it right? This calms the brain and the nervous system. So that again spoke to me. Connection to fairies and nature spirits, which is what sold me mostly on it because I love fairies. So this one I got mainly because I did think it was so cool, called Desert Rose. I live in the desert, so I was like, cool, I want to get that. But look at this. Isn't this super cool? I just thought it looked so pretty. It does kind of look like a flower with like all the petals coming out. Beautiful. It says relieve stress, enhance willpower, protection, purification, helps with overcoming fears and boosts self-confidence, and contains a spirit guardian. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. I mean, I can kind of assume in my head, but now I have to look up more because I need to know who my spirit guardian is. So this one to me was the most interesting. This is called Labradorite. Just so pretty. Now, why I got this one, I was reading this paper and I'm like, well, this is really cool looking. It says one of the most powerful protection vibrations, dispels negative energy, insecurity, and fear. Access to the Akashic records, dream work, clairvoyance, and telepathy. I usually wait till the full moon to do anything because, you know, it just helps with power. But I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this because that's just so cool. And then I got this really beautiful shell to just put them all in. I thought this was super pretty. Now, they dropped this in my bag. I didn't get this at first. I was like, oh no, they accidentally put something in here, didn't ring me up for it. But no, it was like enjoy this. Yeah, enjoy a cup of kindness from us. Coconut cream tea. I didn't see it until I was already home. I'm allergic to coconut, so I can't use this, but it looks super cool, doesn't it? I'll just have to give that to somebody. And last but not least, I always have to get a ton of stickers because I just love getting stickers and then adding it to my wall there. Let's do this before my anxiety kicks in. So true. Love yourself, damn it. Good advice. Blame it on my zodiac sign. There's nothing to blame on my zodiac sign because it's literally perfect. Spill the tea. It just makes sense for this channel. The moon made me do it. Literally. And this one makes me feel like such a Facebook mom, but coffee or violence. This was my favorite one. This as above, so below sticker that I thought was just really beautiful. So I will get those put up. I did do something a little bit fun out there too as well. I was going to my baby sister's house. We were getting ready to go shopping at Between the Worlds. I wanted to go over there first before we went because I was kind of just looking at my middle sister who just had the baby. I was looking around her apartment and I'm like, it is so cool. We all have our own personalities and we've conveyed it so much in our decorations in our home. This is my living room and how it's decorated. I'm going to keep some of the pumpkins year round because I want to do like a pumpkin fairy type theme during, when it's not the holidays. Just lots of pinks. I love pink. There's never enough pink. Pink is not a color, it is a lifestyle. So I have just pink everywhere and I guess very feminine, very naturey. I have all of our postcards that I've grabbed and just decorations that we've gotten from, different places that we've visited. So it's a very like feminine energy in my house, in my living room, but also a very like adventure-y one, I guess. And then you have my middle sister. When you look at the way she's decorated, her stuff is, I feel like a child when I go to her place. It's so mature. She just has like a very grown up, very mature decorating. She likes giraffes, so she has a lot of those everywhere. She has a lot of albums. Her stuff is very clean and she has a lot of beige and oranges. She's very like elegant. Like I've always said, me and my sister have always said that like Paige is like a goddess. She gives off that very powerful goddess energy. And you can just see it the way she decorates. Confident, I guess, is the best way to describe her decorations. And then you have my baby sister who is very colorful and outrageous and outgoing. You can see that in her decorations as well. When I walk into her house, I'm like, oh my God, I love the way that you decorate. Like she's got her rainbows everywhere and she's got her decor. Like nothing is off limits, I guess, in her house. It's like her personality is just everywhere. And so I just had a really fun time. I just thought that was really cool. I wanted to share it with you guys. I was really excited about it. Anyway, my visit to Montana was fabulous. I had a great time. I always love going to Montana. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It snowed while I was there. I was so excited. I never get to see the snow. Oh, also, I do want to just say when I was flying back home, now I didn't notice this when I was flying there, although when I was flying there, I saw this lake and it's super red and I don't know what it was. If you know what it is or if you've seen it, let me know. But also on the way back, I seen this mountain range, huge mountain range. It was absolutely stunning. And I don't know what the mountain range was. So again, if you know, let me know. It was so beautiful. Okay, if you stuck around for my girl talk, thank you. I loved catching up and just talking with you guys and being a little bit more naturally me. But it's time now. Let's get into the video. Hello, my name is Sam. Hi, there is so many of us, isn't there? And I just wanted to thank you for being a safe space for people to share their horrifying stories from their childhoods. I wanted to share some stories from my own childhood. I don't mind if you share them. The first story is about how my birth father forced me to kiss him on the lips when I was a kid. I saw a video about it on your channel and thought it was just me that was forced to awkwardly kiss my own father on the lips and thought it was normal and that all female kids were forced to kiss their father on the lips. As a result of being forced to kiss him on the lips, I ended up with cold sores, a form of the herpes virus, and I live with the virus every day of my life. It's triggered by stress and they can get ugly and extremely painful. Also, when my brother and I were kids, we were physically abused and in my case, when we were growing up, my brother, who was 5 years older than me, was forced to take care of me because most of the time our birth father was high and drunk, so he was no use in taking care of us. My dad had a friend that, for the story, we will call Dave, not his real name. Dave would come into my room at any time, day or night, when he was over, and he would do really inappropriate things to me. One time, I was in my room, sitting on my bed, playing with my Barbies, when Dave came into my room, pretending to be nice. Then he sat next to me and put his arms around me, and then out of nowhere, He took a bar of soap and washed my mouth out with it. That is not where I thought that was going to go. My trauma fried brain instantly thought of, other things. What the hell? Why would he do that? No warning, no nothing. Suddenly I had soap in my mouth. Naturally, I ran out of my room crying and I threw myself on the floor in the dining room, face down, while my dad and Dave watched. My father's response?
It's just a little soap, get over it.
Soap is actually really harsh on your stomach. Dave, meanwhile, was laughing and smirking at me like he had done the funniest thing ever. Another time I went to the bathroom and shut the door when suddenly Dave opened the door and just stood there watching me going to the bathroom and refusing to leave even as I told him to get out in my most grown-up voice for a kid of I think 4 years old. Oh my gosh, you're so little. What a creep. He just laughed and said, "No, I'm not leaving." This is so gross. My dad did absolutely nothing to help me because he was always drunk and high, and no matter what I did, he didn't care. Sometimes my brother had to get me food and help me take care of any wounds I got while playing outside. Anyway, I'm so sorry for the long rambling email. I have even more stories if you would like to hear them. Both of my birth parents were and said really horrible things to my brother and I when we were kids. Thank you again for letting me vent and for your videos. I thought I was the only one with awful parents. Oh no, there is many of us. This is definitely not a long email, I don't think. And I don't think you're rambling either. Going back to address the whole kissing thing, I know that's something that people I think are kind of split on. And I don't think you're a gross parent if you kiss your kids on the lips and you're totally innocent about it. You know what I mean? But I also think that if your child is uncomfortable with it, then don't do it. My mom still, to this day, tries to kiss me on the lips, even though every time she tries, I turn. So she knows I'm not comfortable with it, but I'll turn and she'll still try to turn and kiss me on the lips. It's really fucking weird. If my mom knows I'm turning away and I don't like it, and I don't kiss my daughter on the lips, don't you think that you'd be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, maybe my daughter's uncomfortable with this? I think it's one of two things. One, it's a power move, or two, there's just zero self-awareness. But I can relate. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm curious how you're doing. I'm curious what happened with your dad and with this Dave character. If you've got an update, we're here. I am an autistic 27-year-old who had depended on my mom most of my life, and she recently passed away, 3rd of March 2025, in which I found her. I was completely dependent on my mom since she was the person I was much closer to, and will basically be homeless due to my stepmom pulling the rug 7 days before I was supposed to move in. The plan was to get me help with my autism. Though it didn't help when I was 17, she'd often leave me and my 2 younger siblings home alone while she went off to her boyfriends for weeks on end. We had soon got evicted, to which she and I stayed at a male coworker of hers who I never knew, and she abandoned me there for summer while she went with her boyfriend. My God, that said boyfriend she'd move in with. The boyfriend is a heroin addict who basically hates me and my siblings. He'd often call me fat and lazy, even when I had a job and bought my own food, to the point I would starve myself because he slept on the couch and would watch me whenever I came downstairs. Ugh, creepy. My mom would fight with him, but eventually they'd make up. It was a cycle that went for years until he and his brothers stole from her, and we had to move out to my grandparents till he left. My dad and stepmom are a whole different story. My dad being abusive mentally, verbally, emotionally, and at times physically. My stepmom hating me for no reason, basically saying I can either sleep in the backyard or the streets. She got mad at my dad when we were discussing funeral arrangements for my mother. I have a lot of stories about my father, including when he woke me up with smelling salts. I was so flabbergasted by that. I said, "Sats." For accidentally falling asleep in his bed. Oh my gosh, smelling salts are like insane. Burn your nose hairs off. And he did that just because you fell asleep in his bed? What a psycho. Shot me with an airsoft gun as a joke. But there's one thing he didn't know about, and I'm afraid to tell him in fear he'll call me a liar or a storyteller. I was a preteen. One night he left to check on his girlfriend. My year younger brother was upstairs, my dad living with his friend, family friend at the time. My parents were separated and it was his mandated weekend. I was alone in his room, the lights off and TV on, when his friend came in the room and stood next to the bed, inches from me, and asked,
"Wanna fool around?"
Made me so uncomfortable. I inched further and further away till my back was to the wall. My body was shaking in fear as he got inches in front of my face and asked again. I was so scared I didn't say a word. He then laughed in my face, got off the bed, and said it was all a joke. Yeah, sure. I never told him because honestly, with what my dad calls me, I start to believe it, and at times feel like maybe I made it up or maybe I exaggerated it and begin to self-doubt. But then the memories of that event replay in my head and I begin to shake in fear, hyperventilate, and cry. I'm sorry for the long email. I just needed someone to vent to while dealing with so much. It felt like it'd be safer to vent to someone rather than my own family. But that is exactly what I'm here for. That is what this whole coven is here for. Whether you are writing in for advice or to just be able to talk because you need somebody else to kind of just hold your hand and say, yeah, I understand, I've been there. Like, that is what this channel's for. And I'm really sorry about your mom. And I'm curious what's going on with you now. Do you live on your own? Are you still living with family? And I mean, as far as telling your dad, that is just entirely up to you. It can go one of two ways. Either he'll believe you, which great, or he doesn't. And I want to say, well, who cares what he believes? But I don't want to invalidate your feelings. Of course you want your parents to believe you. You aren't responsible for your dad's reactions to something very real that happened to you. If you feel like you need to tell him, then I would. I don't know if that's any kind of consolation. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I feel like I don't make sense a lot of the times. Oh my gosh, it is getting really dark. You guys see this? Did the sun just go down out of nowhere? It's only 2:30. Where's the sun? I'm kind of scared. I was born to my 15-year-old mother. My biological father, 22 when they met, abused her starting when she was 12. Consequently, I was neglected, abused, and tortured by my stepfather because, in his words, my features
Reminded me of him, so I had to be harder on you.
My stepfather entered my life when I was 3 months old, beginning my entire family's concealment of my biological father's identity. They, my stepfather and mother, married later. I have no memory of my biological father, whom my mother never reported, but confusingly maintained contact with. Even more confusingly, despite her trauma, she left me with my great uncle, who went on trial for similar offenses. I cannot comprehend her belief that I should defend myself against these men. I remember being scolded for waving at my uncle at 10 because,
if you do that, he will think you like him.
oh, that's so gross. I actually had a conversation with somebody the other day that it wasn't so much a conversation as me just kind of nodding, like, yeah, because I didn't agree, but
Yeah, sometimes I think girls just shouldn't wear skirts because, there's men around.
oh boy, yes, let's blame the girls for wearing skirts instead of holding the people accountable that are actually the ones doing something wrong. While I sympathize with my mother's childhood trauma, instead of healing, she became a vicious, compliant narcissist who, along with my stepfather, devalued me and destroyed my self-worth, leaving me vulnerable. My stepfather was the family's malignant narcissist, loud and quick to take his frustrations out on me. He'd lock me outside at night, threatening me with the boogeyman or in dark closets. That's evil. Mental, physical, and emotional bullying was daily from infancy. He enjoyed making me cry, even slamming my face into my first birthday cake. You guys know how much I hate that. Early cruelty of his captured on home video that haunts me. My family bullied me, calling me names, ridiculing me, and blamed me for everything. I was nicknamed Meg, yes, as in Family Guy. Oh my God. They mocked my body and mannerisms, leaving me with no confidence, feeling unworthy and like a monster. At 18, a week before my wedding, the truth emerged. My stepfather said,
Shyla, I met you when you were 3 months old.
my mother followed with,
And he
my bio dad.
would really like to meet you.
This began a years-long existential crisis, compounded by learning he was a predator. This wasn't their only betrayal. After revealing my bio father's identity, their masks dropped, and they treated me worse. I was excluded from family photos with my children. What? With your children? Later, after difficult gallbladder surgery, they disowned me over a disagreement. My siblings called me garbage. My stepfather's last words were good riddance. Well, I would say good riddance to all of you too. My mother's final words were, you should have been the baby of hers who had died. And you are the devil. You're truly Joe's, my bio dad. You're truly his daughter. I really hope that you don't have anything to do with these people anymore. They have left me completely broken, my sense of self fractured. I was the canvas for their hatred of someone in the past who I had no idea existed until adulthood. I paid in tears for the crimes of my father. Narcissistic parents don't just just harm you. They change you, attempting to crush the shining diamond you were with their dirty fingers. They are bitter people who can only hurt. I am glad to be away from them, and I hope that my story can help or at least resonate with others. So you are away from them. You didn't mention that in the beginning, did you? Because sometimes I read things and I forget immediately when I read them. Good. I'm glad you're away because they all sound like monsters. Okay, so that is all for our viewer submissions today. I hope you enjoyed the video. So have a good week. I love you guys so much. I will see you next time. Bye.